Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at a problem that gives us a box plot. Don't know the data, but I know the box plot that was created from the data, and then interpreting that uh, box plot. So this is a question from CPM Course 3, and this is section 6.2.4. Okay, so let's read it and go through it. So it says Kevin found the box plot below in the school newspaper. So this is the box plot. Okay. So we look at it, we can see the data range, right? If I'm interpreting this, I know the data range looks like the smallest number was 0, right? That's where my data starts. And the largest number looks like that's 21, right? So my smallest piece of data is 0, largest is 21. That's how we interpret the ends. Can also see that this number here, the 5, that would be at 5 on the number line. That 5 represents the median, right? The middle of the data. That's the median, is that 5. And then the box, there's two parts of the box. The lower part of the box, which looks like it's at 3, that would be considered the lower quartile. So that's the middle of the lower half of the data. And then the middle of the upper half of the data is called the upper quartile. Okay? And that looks like that's at 10. So that's what when we think about a box plot, how it's created is all the numbers are listed in order from, in this case, from 0, and then there would be more numbers, and then we'd have a 3, and then we'd have more numbers, and then we'd have 5, and then there would be more numbers, and then 10, and then there would be more numbers, and the last number would be 21, right? So this is, but we don't know what that data is in between those numbers. We just know that 5 is the median, 3 is the lower quartile, 10 is the upper quartile. That's what I know based on the information I'm given from the box plot. So A says, based on the box plot, what percent of students watch more than 10 hours of television? So this part here represents what percent of the data. Well, if you think about what I'm dealing with, right? So this is the lower quartile. This is the middle of the lower set of data. This is half the data. So from 5 below is 50%. 5 above is the other 50% of the data. So from 10 above would be half of the half. So that would be 25%. So this represents 25% of the data. So what percent of students watch more than 10 hours of television each week? 25%. Okay. And then based on the plot, what percent of students watch less than 5 hours of television each week? Well, here's 5. Remember that this portion of data from here to here, or on the box plot from there to there, represents 50% of the data, right? Because that's the middle. Okay, 50% of the data. So then we've got, can Kevin use the box plot to find the mean, the average number of hours that students watch each week? If so, what is it, and explain? Well, remember, in order to find mean, I have to know all the numbers, and then I add all the numbers and divide by the number of numbers. So the problem is I don't know what the numbers are, and I don't know how many numbers there were. I don't know how many students were actually um, we got data from. So how many data points there are. So no, okay, we cannot find the mean. Cannot find mean because we do not know all the data, right? We don't know all the data. That's why we can't find the mean. Okay. All right. There we go.